Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, back playing some more Terra Tech. This time I'm in version 0.7.5.5, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure. They've been updating pretty fast. But as we get into this one, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for joining me. It's been a rough one. I had a little bit of a setback there. As you might see, I'm starting over. And yeah. I forgot to save my last one that I was making that was going to store all the resources. So I'm starting again. But I think I got some better ideas this time, so hopefully things will turn out a little better. And I got maybe a couple new ideas to add into it too. So we're going to see how it goes. We're going to kick this one off real good here. And get her speeding along, hopefully. Ooh, look at me go. So as always, you know, that thank you is a sincerely or a heartfelt meant thank you, because all the awesome you guys bring to my little channel is what keeps me going, keeps me motivated to create and share me ideas. And you know, hopefully it helps. And if not really help, hopefully at least brings a smile or, you know, entertains somebody. Hoping. So yeah, as you can see, I'm going to extensively use that hover wheel glitch. And, well, there was a comment saying, I'm not sure if it was mainly for this tech or not. I was kind of skimming through some and it said, make it fly. And I figured, yeah, let's see if we can make it fly. It seems like a pretty reasonable idea to get for something like this. I think it'd be a cool little feature to have on a tech that can carry everything too. But what I got thinking is if I use propellers and stuff like that as my main mode of flight, then I'm going to go too fast and I'm going to drop a whole bunch of resources. So I'm hoping that I can maybe eliminate that if I'm doing more of a controlled hover at altitude. I still like those shields. Man, those are nice. I like them. I like them a lot. So yeah, as you can tell, the shields and this size of attack, there's going to be a bunch of bubbles. Gonna need the batteries. So I get some battery storage, some energy storage, I guess, here. Yeah, I can't forget the cab and the radar. I always tend to do that. Not sure why. There, I'm blacking this side up a wee bit. Oh, miss some spots. I got a shaky hand. I'm missing things. Look at me go! Like a frickin' typewriter on steroids. Or on speed. There. That's not too shabby. Got a nice little base there. I think that should float a little bit at least. At least I hope it will. Hard to say though, because there is better arrangements for the wheels, to the hover pad and all that. And I'm just hoping those wheels work good enough to get me the lift I'm hoping for. But now, just in case you missed what the last version of this was all about, it was all about trying to make a fully functioning base that could be mobile and deal with any terrain in the game. So that's my goal. And as far as how I'm going to do it, I figure if it can hover, don't have to deal with it, right? Just fly right over. But just in case, you know, I'm going to try and make it good on both worlds, because I got a weird feeling that this thing ain't going to actually lift off the ground when it's done. Just because a lot of the time when I got a shape in my mind, right? And I want to stick to that shape. So when that happens, usually, you know, I get limited for space, or I make things too heavy because I'm trying to cram so much into a tight spot. So my realistic goal is to have this thing be able to drive up the hills, hopefully no matter what hill. Well, maybe some real steep ones we won't be able to get up, of course, but you know, reasonable. But then when it gets to the top, it'll be able to like do a controlled descent using the little bit of hover it might have at that point and a little bit of thrust. You know, maybe I'll use some rockets. Who knows? We'll see. We'll have to see what we need by then. And maybe I'll do more of a glide back down to Earth, so it can cover the deep pits and that, and the mountains, and just soar over them, hopefully. You know, it's possible. It might work. Don't know yet. But I am going to get some propellers in here because I'm going to hopefully use them as my thrust and everything instead of having to use rockets. And these will be activated just by driving forward, just like because of the hover glitch. So that should keep my shift button free if I have to use rockets for descending. Or propellers, whatever. When rockets, they run out and you have to add extra weight because of the fuel, but they are more powerful. So, I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. I might use the rockets just for that reason, because you do get more actual thrust or force out of them, I find, than the propellers. So anyway, we got the basics of our component section here. Get some refineries in there. Now the only problem I got with this is that the refineries can be bypassed by things if it gets too much going by them. So I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be even worth putting these in here. But I would like them here. And hopefully if everything keeps up, now that we have that pacemaker block, I'm hoping that that will make everything keep up. Because if we can be all timed out, nothing goes by where it shouldn't, you know, nothing's missed, man, would that ever make things a lot better. I think I better start putting in a little bit of fuel here, because, you know, I'm going to use some rockets, I just don't know how and how extensive. I like rockets, they're fun. Yeah, I kind of wanted to try that idea. Now, if anyone else likes this idea about laying component factories on their side, you know what else was really nice? When we could do that with any base block. It was a pretty sweet feature, I thought. But it was taken out because I guess people were finding it too difficult to figure out. So hopefully we've all got a little better. We've all figured out a lot more. And maybe they can bring that feature back for us. Because I think we should all be able to handle that kind of new feature or revisited feature. It just made things a lot more interesting when you could go in wild ways and I don't know, creativity. There, let's go along them lines, I guess. Let's slide right on over top of that. I like it. So yeah, I'm going to be using a lot of those. But right now, all I'm kind of just trying to get to is where I can maybe run some kind of a crafting test or just something. Because this needs to be a crafter, a harvester, a power generator, a scrapper, a block collector, a resource collector, a drop-off point for other techs to drop off blocks and resources. It should also be mobile, and ideally it'll be able to defend itself. But with the final shape I got in my mind right now, I don't know if that's going to be too doable. But I might try to still put some little bit of nastiness on it in the way of firepower. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm gonna try and keep the finished product or finished result a bit of a secret. Well, it's not finished yet, of course. I've got a little bit done. Like I've went ahead and got quite a bit done, and I've just got the pieces put together now. But I haven't finished it yet, so it's still kind of up in the air if it's gonna work on the final design and all that. So I don't want to say too much, just so I don't want to lock myself into one thing. I could get a better idea. I don't know. So this is just kind of me farting around. It's like a session of extensive farting around. Just trying things out, seeing how it goes, and seeing how it feels, really. Because a lot of the time you can build something, it's like, well, this feels pretty good, I like it. Yep. Gonna build it on, or this feels like crap. Gonna cut this one loose and try something else. But like in the last one, gotta get my storage in here, right? Now, I was thinking of doing stuff a little different, like I said, because I got some other ideas while I was starting that last one that I lost. Yeah, I went away there last weekend. I forgot to save stuff. I got in a hurry right at the last minute, and I lost everything. So I don't know. I had some other stuff done on it too. But really, I'm liking this one better already. Just because of the things that I've realized in the last one and things have changed a bit in this one. So I think it'll be pretty good. But I'm going to get these all set before I run any conveyors around here, just so I know it's done. Because it is not really cool when you start dumping resources or whatever into your system. And it's like, hey, it's all set at everything. Crap. And this thing isn't really going to be intended to have like a purge system. It's meant to get them, hold them, until they're used for crafting. So I don't want to have too many boo-boos. Or I'm going to have to be picking resources out of here by hand. But like I said there before, we got to get this sucker powered. So we're going to throw quite a few batteries in here, I believe, by the end of it. Now, I know these little ones aren't the greatest to use. The big Geocore batteries are, but when you got a couple small spaces and you got nothing else that you could really think of putting in there, why not a battery? I know I could have tried to use maybe some propellers and all that to help it fly, but I really don't want to have to use propellers or rockets to make it get in the air. I'm hoping it just floats up. Even if it's just skimming above the ground, I think that would be alright. Because I am going to put some wheels under this puppy, so... Or treads, most likely, of course, because, yeah, the treads are freaking awesome. You can't go wrong with treads. Unless you're trying to float in water, then you might take a severe screwing on that deal, but things you got to figure out, right? Yeah, we got these kind of put in here. This is going to hopefully be my exit line, which will lead to my crafting stuff. Yeah, it took me a little while to kind of figure out what I wanted to do even at this point, just to kind of... Do I want it to be like a straight shot kind of thing? Do I want it to wind around a bit? Maybe have some extra options. Maybe even put in like a purge option, just in case I want to empty everything. But, I don't know. It's one of those things that I guess I could do later. So I figure I'm just going to try and leave it available. But this is probably going to be kind of enclosed, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too much of that. So I'm probably going to stick with that. It gets them, it holds them, it crafts with them, or you do not get them back. I think I'm probably going to go with that idea. So as you can see, I already got all the resources dealt with. So why am I building up like that at the front, right? Or the end? Because part of my new idea is... Why should I stop at just resources? Why not have a bit of everything that's needed for crafting? So now I think I'm just going to try and have a spot for every single component too. There's a lot of them though. I forget exactly how many. I think there's something like 20. 24 or something sounds right. So I got to try and get 24 onto here. I think I can do it. We're going to try anyway. We'll see what we can get figured out. We'll kind of get at least whatever I can get started. I'm not too sure if this is really going to look as sweet as I was hoping. But as long as I can get it to function, I'll be happy. Like that. There, and that should be my return, or my to the crafting section line. Go down a bit like this, just to even it out. You know, symmetry is pretty sweet on things like this. Especially when you want it to fly, it does really help. Keeps you going where you want to be going. And, yeah, I've got to go out of here a bit, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll do that. That looks a lot better. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. Something like so. Yeah, I had to take that one off. There. That looks better. Get these filled in. Doot, 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 doot. Doot. Okay, now we gotta run around to the far side. Yeah, give her a little bit of a step, because I'm hoping to have a bit of roundness to this one. Yeah, at first I was thinking of maybe trying to turn the original one into like an animal shape. I was kind of thinking of a lion, but I don't know. Not sure how I want this one to all turn out. But I think right around in here I'm going to kind of get into the outros and all that, because this is probably getting near where it should be about long enough to be the ending. So, once again, I would like to thank you for joining me. And I just want you to know that I do appreciate all the awesome that you guys bring to my little channel. It is really appreciated. And I'll never stop appreciating it. And as a way of showing my appreciation, that's why I offer the Surly Showcase, where your cool and original techs could have their very own video, posted on my channel, of course. But all you got to do to take part is find my Saturday Showcase auditions link down in the description, send an in-game snapshot or save game and post it on the thread that link takes you to, and I'll take it from there, and I'll make the best dang video out of it I can, and hopefully we'll have a ton of fun in the process, sharing our ideas, inspiring some other people, and, helping out in general. And other than that, if you did enjoy what you saw, if maybe it's even helped you, feel free to throw some comments down below. Any feedback is always helpful, helps me learn, helps me get better. And, if that blue thumb seems like a fitting thing to do, that would be awesome. And hey, if you haven't already, you could subscribe, ding the bell. Yeah, then you'll be notified when I have something new. And as a last little offer, if you would happen to have a couple bucks you'd like to donate, and if you do find yourself doing so, I'll more than happily throw your name into a draw for a $40 3D printed tech. And that is done through the paypal.me link down in the description. So everything's down in there. So until next time, everybody, keep being the awesome and keep having a good one. Bye.